recorded live from Atlanta, Georgia.
Live from Las Vegas.
And from Springville, Tennessee.
All right.
It's the Keto Show with Tom and Mike, and today we have a special guest. We have Michelle from Life Adventures and Keto.
Hey, y'all.
How you doing? Did I say that right? Is it the other way around? Keto and Life Adventures, or
Life Adventures and Keto?
Okay.
Either way.
Hey, I mess up my own channel name half the time.
I have to press stop or pause a moment. Then I have to go look the name up again to make sure that I'm saying it right when I say it. So I hear you. There's too many names to get.
I tell you, people say, "What's the name of your channel?" I said, "Keto Journey." No, that ain't it. No.
Yeah, that ain't it.
I have some people say, "Are you that keto guy?" Why, is something wrong?
Depends on who's asking,
I literally told somebody, I ran into somebody that recognized me and said, "I saw you on your YouTube channel." And I said, "Oh, well, thanks. I appreciate it." And they said, and I said, is that a good thing? Do I owe you money or anything like that? And they go,
Did you come back? Did you watch more than one?
Yeah, I said, "Did you hit subscribe?" "Well, not yet." "Well, go back and do that."
Right. You know what I found out? I found out a lot of people have no idea how to do that.
They think they got to pay.
Like, I don't, you say hit the button, but what button? And I'm thinking, I didn't know that people didn't know that. So maybe we need to make a short explaining what button I need to push, and then it's free. Yeah, it's free.
I've had so many people ask me, say, "Well, how much does it cost to subscribe?" I said, "Not a dime.
Not a dime." And we're not trying to sell you nothing. That's what I tell a lot of them. I'm not trying to sell you a thing, but the diet itself, and you can either do that or not do that. But
yeah, I said, "No, I've told people that, I said, yeah, I've got some discount codes, but it's if you're interested in trying it, it gets you a big discount to use it."
I don't even think about that anymore. I have several too, but I don't think about to put it in there somewhere.
I just excuse me. I just noticed when I do post something in YouTube, there's another line that you can put on, and it's about your stuff that you're pushing, your store,
right?
And you can like a coffee mug or whatever you have. Excuse me. But I mean that's like a new feature, and honestly, that's not what I'm about, or
right.
I'm not looking to sell stuff. I mean, it seems like YouTube pushes you into, get this, get that, because obviously they're making money off it.
Exactly.
So to join my channel, for what? I mean,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't. Well, anyway, that's just me.
So, Michelle, for the folks that don't know, tell us about yourself and your journey with keto and where you are, how you got into YouTube, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Well, of course, my name's Michelle. I have 2 boys. I'm married. They're grown. One has moved back in with me. So keep your fingers crossed for me. That's kind of difficult when they move out and they move back in. But I started my ketogenic journey when I was 225 pounds. It's probably about 6 years since now, and I've went up and down from there. But I'm consistently lost 60 pounds so far, and hopefully losing some more. Yes. After the kids moved back in, though, I am a binge eater, and so there's a background there. There's also an OCD background that's kind of when I push something for myself, then I seem to push back on myself, if that makes any sense. So I've been yo-yoing quite a bit here lately because of emotional things, but I think I'm back on the right path. I'm not setting myself up for failure at the moment. I do tend to eat higher fat on my way of eating. Dr. Eric Westman is where I started with the ketogenic journey. I found his white coat video after I had my ailments were taking over. I was really close to being disabled. I hadn't yet made that appointment to go check that out. Of course, I'm diabetic, but the lower sugar end of it, there were migraines, arthritis symptoms, IBS symptoms, and hardly any of that is effective to me anymore. So you really can control some of that stuff with your diet. And I just want to show that to everybody that it is possible. It is a lifestyle for me though. So like I said, I'm kind of up and down. I may, go out with family members and I might actually have a little bit of something that they're having. And then I just kind of let that go and keep going. but for the most part, the elements aren't holding me hostage. I'm actually able to work 12 to 14 hours a day now. I can keep up with the grandbabies, knock on wood somewhere. I do a lot of fishing videos here. We do Fly Lady systems. I'm sure you guys don't have any idea about who the Fly Lady system is, but it's a cleaning technique. I'm going to be having some mental health issues collabs coming up. We have a neurodivergent series coming up with, and I can't remember her name right now, and she's gonna be like, I can't believe you forgot my name. But anyway,
He forgets my name all the time.
Yeah, God. Anyway, soon I'll put. It's gonna be way down the road. We're just doing a little bit of research into the topic and such. That we're both on the spectrum, so we kind of wanted to delve into that side a little bit more. I do some ASMR. I don't know if you guys know what the ASMR sounds that affect certain ways. So I do a lot of that, nature things. I think that is it. We're homesteading now. I haven't really put much of that out there yet because I also work full time as a housekeeper. So it's kind of hard to do all of the things. I have so many ideas, but not enough time to pencil them in, if you know what I mean. So
going back, I'm going to step back a bit on here because what you're saying is almost like my life. Okay. With the binge, not so much binge, but coming from the restaurant business. Okay. I mean, I was constantly shoving food in my face. Boop, boop,
yes.
all the time. And then when it come time to sit down and have a dinner, okay, after work, whatever, the time was wrong. So I was told, okay, and then eat and then just keep like sweets and stuff like that over night after night after night after night. And I mean, over, I would say 40 years, okay, I blew up to a point where I don't care. I don't care. Yeah. And when I had the problem getting behind the stove, to do my job and stuff like that, I said, and then I backed off a little bit. But my question is, what do you think that the whole the failure to just push away? What do you think that comes from?
Back then it was for me. I also worked in a lot of quick fast food places, little convenience stores where it's all right there all the time, so there wasn't a need to push back. But I think for then it was an emotional part of eating, but the things we were eating back then weren't filling us. They were empty, everything. And so you could eat a whole thing of Little Debbie cakes. You could go through McDonald's and have the big meal and all the things. Sorry. Bad word for him. I'm sorry. But it was just those weren't filling us. They weren't meeting any of the needs besides what we thought was an emotional need, and it didn't even fill that need.
And now, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, on the binge part of that, for me, when I say binge, is that if I have 3 or 4 bad things, then I can have 4 days of all the bad things because I've already been down the road of the bad things, and I have a really hard time cutting it off and turning around and coming the other way.
I was just me and Marie were talking the other day about it of how we'd buy something, okay, and have big weekend at the house, and this is after I retired, and then having stuff left. Well, we can't leave that here because that's bad for us all. But then go full circle now, listening to these doctors, and from what I went through just now in the past couple of years, it was the carbs. It was actually the sugars. It was the addiction to that. Okay. That craving, to always, let me have this, let me have that. You know what? Somebody just scratched my car. Let me go have 50 Little Debbies and we'll get that squared away. I mean, that's going
to make it all better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
LD, that evil little temptress. She is something else. I don't know why they hadn't come out with a keto line. They could sell a ton.
Right. But it would probably be the same link as the Duncan Hines keto stuff. That if you look at that box, it's not anything. The only thing keto about the box is the word keto on the front of it.
Yeah. But when you compare it with a lot of the others, it's a lot cleaner than a lot of the others are.
That's true.
But
if you're determined, if you got to have a cake or you got to have something, that's probably or there's another company. What is it? King Arthur Bakery. Theirs is decent too, as far as
It-
when you compare it with the others. You're like, wow. Well, this is, if
See,
I gotta have it, that's my best choice. You know.
see, that's where I differ from everybody. Okay, I want to get rid of the cravings. Okay, so I mission accomplished. I get rid of that to the point where I don't crave it. Sugar, I don't crave. I eat one time a day, and it's everybody says, "Oh, that's baloney." No, it's actually true.
No,
I don't intermittent fast on purpose. Okay, I do it because I'm not hungry.
it's a byproduct of your life. Is all.
Get that mindset going, and that's another one that you had mentioned, Dr. Eric Westman. He was the one that actually, like the light bulb went off in my head. Wow, okay,
it's like something you said a while ago, where I'll eat. I'm with the family, and I'll eat what they're having maybe, and then I move on and go back to the way I was to the other way, and that's the key to success on this.
yeah.
That's one of the biggest keys to it, and I'm impressed that you said that. That was a lot. That was a mouthful there.
Yeah, it took me a long time to get to that point where I wouldn't just say, well, that mouthful of side salad or whatever they had made that I put along with the meats that I chose, it really did take me a long time to get there. So if you are a binge purge person, that's probably not something you want to jump right into doing. You probably should abstain as long as you're fat adapted. And then once you're fat adapted, it's not as triggering to your body and to your person and to your mental space as it is if you're just started.
Right.
Now, I do agree with Tom where I did go from all the crap to all the better stuff without trying to keto-fy all the things I was eating. But if the only way you can come to keto is keto-fy all the things that you loved, then by all means,
yes,
please do. That's still a ton better than eating this.
I had a friend of mine lives in Florida, and they said, "Well, we're going to start this. We're going to follow your channel. We're going to start this." And I mean, like maybe 2 days later, okay, I get a private message saying, "These fat bombs are great." No, stop.
Jump to the fat bombs before you're ready.
Right. Yeah. But again, if a fat bomb is what brings you over, then by all means.
Yeah, but I tell people, if you got at least for the first 2 or 3 months, try to stay as clean as you possibly can.
Right.
If you stray a couple of times, hey, I understand. We all have our moments, but try to do it. And then if you want to maybe add in them fat bombs, I'm not going to yell at you for that.
Exactly. I attribute this to smoking. Okay. Right. I smoked before I quit smoking. I was up to 5 packs a day, and that's no lie. Okay. Just the pressures, business, and stuff like that. Now I'm 15 years, no cigarettes. Quit cold turkey the whole bit. And I got to tell you, the other day I was getting in the car and I went like this, looking for my cigarettes. 15 years later,
they'll never leave you.
So it's all up here. I mean, just and we were in the casino the other night, and they had one case that was just packed with, cannolis. All kinds of stuff. And I walked past, I was going, "Oh, let me out of here!"
Right, fast.
Because it's all up here. You can get this under control. I think you do well. You'll never get rid of it.
No,
you'll always have that. Just like a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
The smoking analogy is a good one because I haven't been 15 years past yet, but I have quit. I moved from cigarettes to little cigars because I thought, no way, the cigars are better than the cigarettes, and I ended up liking the little cigars a whole lot better than I liked the cigarettes.
Yeah,
I did put them down, but I will walk out of my way sometimes every once in a while, just like you reaching for that pack, for somebody else smoking and just be in the limelight for like 2 seconds. Okay, I'm good. I gotta go on. I gotta do
it. Got me
just like
wow.
Last night playing in the casino, I must have smoked 2 packs last night just from everybody else. You know what I mean? It's just wow, it's crazy. There again, it's. I'm sorry, Mike, but there again, it's like it's bad for you, but you see the people doing it, still smoking. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just not pushing the keto too much, but you know what? It is better for you. It really is.
We were also pushing the mind numbing, which is the same thing as binge eating on crap. I mean, you're just trying to mind numb and do something that you don't have to think about the world or whatever's happening in your life at the moment. You know, that's kind of one of those things. It took you 2.5 minutes away from people, you know, at the time. So it's kind of the same thing.
So how did you come to YouTube? How did you get involved with YouTube?
Both of my sons moved out, and I needed some other outlet is what I needed. Once I had started keto, like I had told everybody in my immediate life about it, and nobody wanted to start. Nobody was listening, and I just felt like I had come so full circle back to work from almost being disabled by food alone, and I just couldn't believe it. I wanted everybody to know it, so I just thought there's got to be one other person that I could share this information with that might not have seen it otherwise, and turn them around as well. It was really where I went with it. If I could just, one person. But I was an empty nester, and I needed another outlet. And creativity is, I can do all of that here if I ever if I find the time to do that, Yeah. So.
Michelle, is your husband keto also or no?
He is not. He is all the way not keto.
That's tough. That's really hard.
That's hard.
Not only that, we've been together since we were in 8th grade. And it's hard to cook 2 different meals. And I don't cook 2 different meals anymore every night, but it is hard to sit and watch TV in the evenings with him with the standard American diet snack and me with a piece of bacon or a coffee and cream. I mean, it is really hard to do that. So
see, Marie, there's nothing wrong with Marie. Okay, the doctor just, they're throwing stuff out there. Well, let's get this test. And she said, "Bull crap! I'm going to be 70 years old. Leave me alone." Right. She lost 52 pounds, 52 pounds. Didn't have to be on it, but that was the way to keep me going with it. Because it wasn't so much the weight; it was more health issues that I had. And that was it. But that's got to be tough for you,
It is tough. And I think at one point or another, we're going to get him to go that way because of health issues. He will be 50 this year. I'm 48. And there's just things that he could kick or overcome with food as well. He just chooses not to do so. And he's eating better than the original standard American diet now, because I do throw in this and that and hold this and that, darn, I forgot such and such at the store this time. You're just going to have to eat something else, So he's eating better than he was, but I'm the one who brings in the stuff. And that really makes me feel bad sometimes, just cooking what he's wanting to eat. And I'm thinking, Lord, you just don't need all of that in one meal, but here we go.
Marie's Italian, so Marie stared at me when I first broke out the egg life wraps and cut them into noodles. She looked at me and said, "Really?" I mean, but then once I explained to her that regular pasta is the killer in pasta is the flour, so you get egg and flour basically. That's mixes up, and you got pasta. So,
folks, I tell you what, if you haven't done it, first off, I want you to go to Michelle's channel and check it out. She's got some great stuff. She has got some great insight on a lot of things. But I'm telling you, go through her video list. She's got a recipe there where she does sausage and gravy.
Man,
it is great. I'm telling you.
That is almost a daily staple. That's just almost a daily staple. That recipe is really. Yeah. And you think sour cream? I mean, not sour cream, but cream cheese is going to make gravy, but it makes an awesome.
It makes a great one. It makes a great one. and it's real quick and easy.
And one of my newest favorites is the scrambled egg casserole. Have you seen that one? That's really
I have.
It's so easy to make, and it reheats well. Which I find works better for me if I can find a meal prep, something like that just really microwaves well. I mean,
right, because you're in your office is your car basically.
Oh yeah, I'm in I would say at least 3 hours a day. I'm in this vehicle driving from spot to spot.
Right, so you gotta have something that's quick and easy.
Right, and that that I can, like you said, microwave quick or leave on the counter. I mean, some of that stuff I don't mind I don't mind eating it cold. I'm kind of weird like that. But like the let's see, what is that other one? The Big Mac salad.
Yes.
That, I mean, you just leave that on the counter and it's perfect by lunchtime. I mean, it's just so easy.
See, that's why I like all the different channels that I watch, and because of different ways of doing things. I mean, it's just nobody has it in the corner. This is the way to do it, and everything like that. I like to watch everybody else's stuff and get some ideas. Maybe we can tweak this. Maybe we can do that. Whatever. And it's great. My whole issue is like with yours, the sense of humor. You got to have a sense of humor.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because if you beat the drum, can't do this, can't have that, no. I mean, that's you're gonna wind up failing with it. But watching your videos, one video I'm watching, I'm saying we got to change her name to Mario Andretti because she is flying down the highway.
Well, besides give off a little faster appearance. One day I'm going to just do that with notification of the speed too, because I've got that message many times. You are booking it. I'm really only going 40 miles an hour. It's really not as fast as it.
But that's the sense of humor of it. I'm talking this and that, and just a couple things that you say and stuff. That was the attraction, as far as, well, you know what? She's living the life, but in the same token, it's tough because her husband, like you said, is not there. And then the pitfalls. Him sitting on a couch and look over this, eating something else. Damn it.
Now, folks, y'all heard many people say or have T-shirts or something saying, "I run on coffee." This is true with this lady.
I'm a coffee addict.
Michelle, do you think from doing keto that you drank more coffee, or you always did?
No, I've always. Matter of fact, if I hadn't Googled this back 6 years ago and it had told me I couldn't have bacon and I couldn't have coffee, I wouldn't have tried it. Period.
Gotcha.
It wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
He said all the right words in that White Coke video. If you have to have a Diet Coke, then have it. If you have to have another cup of coffee, then have it. Like if that is what it takes. But no, I've always been it was my father and I's routine in the morning. He worked hard all of his life, and from sun up to sundown he was gone. He was a lineman for Georgia Power. And so I started getting up to make the coffee, to drink coffee with Dad before he would leave, and that is really where it started. He's like, you can have some, but you're not going to drink milk and sugar with a little splash of coffee. You're going to drink coffee. So that's where I started with black coffee. So that's where we started. So it's his fault. I'm gonna blame it all on him. I drink coffee all day long, though, Tom. At my customer's house, they would usually leave the remnants of whatever coffee they had left for me. Now I don't drink that much anymore, but that's they would.
I found myself past couple of years. I increased my intake of coffee, and I'm loving it. I mean, in the afternoon after we do have something, I guess it might be the syndrome of it might be dessert, or a
little bit of a liquid feel behind a smaller snack versus a year ago you might have ate a little bit more. Because I'm so busy during the day, so it's kind of a necessity anymore for me. I mean,
I've never been a big coffee drinker.
You are now.
I've become more of one because of Javi coffee. Because when I would drink coffee, it would be black. I didn't have anything in it. And then I had my gallbladder taken out. And when I would try to drink coffee after having my gallbladder out, it would just mess with me something fierce.
It's probably too acidic for your body to process now that you don't have a gallbladder.
It may be. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But I found if I cut it, I put in some heavy whipping cream or I put in some sweetener, it'll cut it enough to where I can drink it now. And this Javi coffee, because I've never been a cold coffee drinker, but I've never liked any cold coffee I've ever had until this stuff. It's amazing. And you're the one that first showed me about Javi coffee, and
man, it's good. It is so good. It's so good. Versatile. I take that little bottle with me everywhere. I mean, you can just have a bottle of water here and mix you up.
Right.
They sent me something. I thought it was a scam. I told them go screw
I
themselves.
know. You should go by that email though, and you should resend an email to the person who reached out to you though, because they'll still do a contract with you. Did you ever check, Mike, on your contract to get a second bottle for free?
I did, and I contacted the lady, and she said, "Well, I'll send it to you. I can do that." And the next thing I know, I mean, within like 2 or 3 days, I got the lady. She said, "You're going to be managed by this new lady. I'm changing jobs within the company." So I think I never got it.
You got
She went to Lipton Tea.
I got no. She's still in the same company. Yeah, she's still with them, but I kind of got lost in the shuffle. So I'm gonna hit this lady that I just got that's managing it for me, because she just sent me the protein powder. She said, "Give this a try." It's a
I didn't even know
protein
they
powder.
made a protein powder.
They
That's good to know.
brand new.
Oh,
Brand new. It just they said they just put it on the market. I mean, literally within the last 2 weeks.
wow.
That's on my checklist today. I got to watch Mike's what you made.
But I make my own cold brew. I'm such a coffee addict. I make my own cold brews.
Getting back to the nuts and bolts. What is your go-to food?
Oh
Bacon.
yeah. Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Bacon. Almost every day I carry what I consider purse bacon. You can do satchel bacon if you have to carry, not a purse, but
yeah.
I carry bacon with me everywhere, only because I never know when my hours might go a little over what I thought they were going to go. I brought something I can't microwave in a person's household because I just cleaned it. I don't want to, bake, eggs or peppers or anything. I don't want to microwave that up in there. So I take bacon just to keep me. I mean, there's almost a daily instance where I need a little bit of something right now so that I don't make a bad decision. So I would say bacon is mine.
Okay. And I mean, and it's so versatile. I mean,
yeah.
That's where we get the bad rap. Oh, you eat bacon, and this and that. I'm of the age when, back in the day, that was bad. But you ate bacon, you were shunned from everybody because you had, have pasta, fat free. Everything was fat free, and that was the ruination of most people.
What people say, well, I don't know, I can't give up all the starches. I said, okay, on the standard American diet, you can have all the starches, but they want you to cut out the bacon. I said, on this, you're going to cut out the starches, but you can have the bacon. So it's up to you which one you want to cut out. And they said, you can eat bacon on this? I said, oh yeah.
I get a lot of people with that. Wait a minute, bacon loves me back. It's my new hashtag. Bacon.
There you go.
Hey,
good one.
I like it.
So,
yeah. What's the food you avoid? I know, like a high fat food or a keto style food.
I've had people tell me, it's like, I really love potatoes. I just can't give up potatoes. I really love it. I said, okay, let me ask you something. How many times have you just sat down and ate plain potatoes, nothing on it?
Right.
Well, I don't do that. I said, so you got to put stuff in it, right? And they said, yeah. I said, so it's really not the potato you like, it's the stuff you put in the potato that you like.
And you can put all of that stuff on another item and make it a potato-like substance.
Exactly.
I don't know what I stay away from. That's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, see, and that's the point where people say, well, I don't like that. I don't want to eat that. Okay. Or, but we are so attuned to what we were told how to eat. Okay.
Oh yeah.
3 times a day, plus a snack in between, break time, go have a donut and this and that. So you got it. Breakfast was the most important, lunch, dinner, snacks in between, and then snack at night. So you're constantly filling yourself with bad food. I believe in my way of looking at this with keto is no labels. Okay. Eat till you're full. Okay. I have a hard time with like hard-boiled eggs and stuff like that, but that's just, preference for me.
Right.
Okay? If I have too much protein, my blood sugar goes up. I did a week. I did a week of chicken breast. Okay. Just every which way with chicken breast. By the end of the week, my blood sugars went up. I mean, like 50, 60 points.
your body was turning it into sugar.
Well,
I need
the chicken doesn't have enough fat to
fat.
go along with the protein
Right. It
content for
wasn't
your
cutting
body
it.
to use it properly, right? So
Yeah.
chicken never. If I eat a ribeye steak, and if you people aren't on keto, you're going to think I'm crazy, okay? But if you eat a ribeye steak and you are fat adapted, your body says, "Thank you,
Yes. Yes.
thank you,
That's
thank you." It does not yell at you for eating the entire 12-ounce
yes.
ribeye steak with all the fat on it. When
Well,
I can eat one chicken breast and within 30 minutes be hungry again because there's not enough fat content on that chicken for it to be satiating to me. So
amen, sister.
Amen. Amen indeed.
if we're doing chicken breast on my side, we're putting something on it. I'm putting some sauce, some Alfredo sauce, some butter, some some kind of fat sauce to go along with it.
Fat will blunt a carbohydrate response.
True.
Or a blood sugar response. It will blunt it. It will blunt it and keep it from being as bad. And that's brilliant what you just said with that. I love it.
I counteract now to chicken because now I discovered pork rinds.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll make chicken cutlets with the pork rinds. So
there you go.
Just in case, because I did have that sausage keto gravy this morning, which was at about 9 o'clock. What time are we now? 2:30, and I haven't ate anything else. So talking about fasting, it's natural. I'm not hungry right now, so I do the same as Tom, where I eat with my family on the weekends for sure for breakfast. But if it's Monday through Friday, I may not have my break fast until noon or later because I'm not hungry first thing in the morning. But
I had a person say to me, "Oh, it's 2 o'clock. I got to eat."
Yeah.
No. Are you hungry?
That eat every 2 hours to me is really nonsensical BS. And I'm calling it out as that if you have to eat every 2 hours, what you're eating isn't satiating enough for your body to sustain you. So I just have to call questions on that. Let's eat every 2 hours. For a diabetic to be told by a physician, you need to eat you want me to spike my insulin every 2 hours and I'm already supposed to be taking medicine for insulin spike?
Right.
We're supposed to be interviewing you, but I got a quick story. What you just talked about. Okay. I was in a hospital because my blood sugar was very high. This is going back when I was in Florida. Put me in a hospital, could be heart problems, could be this, and they're just checking off the list, okay? If my blood sugar went over 150, okay, they would come in and hit me with insulin to lower it. And that was usually at night, okay? They hit me with the insulin, all right? And then the girl would come around with no sugar ice cream and graham crackers. Here, you need your night snack. Well, what the hell did you give me this for?
Yeah, you just lowered my insulin. Now you're going to raise it again to give me some more medicine to lower it again? I mean,
so they turned around and come find out that I'm insulin resistant. Okay, so they could have killed me by shooting me up with more insulin. You know what I mean? So it's just just the false stuff right there. I have no idea.
And so some physicians altogether, I'm low sugar. I've been low sugar since probably elementary school. I had migraines so bad that I would pass out in school. They did all kinds of testing back then, and we're talking the 80s, which wasn't a whole lot of testing. But they thought there was a heart issue with me because of blood sugar issues and the things that I was dealing with. They said, like, maybe your blood pressure's too high. I mean, all the way into probably me being 37. And the doctor here said, "Do you know that you're diabetic?" I said, "What are you talking about? I'm diabetic." He said, "Did you not know that low sugar is as well a diabetic as a high sugar? If your insulin is consistent, then you're considered to be diabetic." And I mean, all those years, nobody said any one word about diet or what I was eating. Didn't have any questions for me until I was 37 years old, and that to me is terrible. I mean, that's just terrible. Wow.
See, my wife is the opposite. She's type 1 diabetic and has been since she was 6 years old, and she is very insulin sensitive. Her blood sugar will respond with very little insulin. The doctor is always amazed at how little insulin she has to use.
Wow.
And it's also and it's even less now because
Of her
we're doing
diabetic intake.
because we're doing the keto with the low carb, and we go to the doctor, and she has a graph on her where she prints out what her meter does, and you'll see a line it's almost straight across with what her blood sugar
Wow.
is.
Wow.
There'll be a dip here and there, but it's not much, and she'll say, this is wonderful,
They'll be
How
like,
do you
whatever
do-
you're doing, keep doing it, but they
you
don't
know,
ask any question
yeah,
about what she's doing.
and the doctor says, how do you do it? And my wife will point over to me and say, it's what he cooks. He cooks stuff that doesn't affect my blood sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
I developed type 2 when I was battling bladder cancer through the treatment.
Right.
They couldn't give me the treatment if my blood sugar was high. I never had that issue before. And one day before they were getting ready to do my treatment, because it was like 6 weeks increments that you would do it, and I was going into my 6th session. Okay, I was into it, and they said, we can't do it because your blood sugar. What are you talking about? Well, now you have type 2 diabetes. Then and that's all they said. So doing the research on it, the treatment that I was receiving actually causes type 2 diabetes because it wrecks your immune system. So, it's catch-22 type of thing. And like I said, I cook, I like to eat. And that really affected me. I mean, especially when the doctor tells you, get your life in order, get your affairs in order.
Right.
Whoa, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You need to take this medicine and then this medicine and then this medicine because those first two weren't doing it. I know.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So when do you do separate meals for yourself and for your husband?
A lot of times I'll be cooking the same cut of meat for everybody, except for I'll add another side in there. They may be having the standard potato, whatever, and I'm going to do a cauliflower or something and
okay.
not have the bread that goes along with it or a side salad. So a lot of times I'll just make it simple like that for myself. But sometimes I'll meal prep in advance and just have something on hand that's that I can microwave. Maybe I'll cook mine one night and then there's another night, and then sometimes down the road we'll have a leftover of a night I don't have to cook or whatever.
Yeah.
So we know your go-to food is bacon, but what about your go-to meal? What's your favorite meal, keto meal?
Oh no, it's probably a ribeye and a side salad, or
That's hard
ribeye
to
and
beat that.
broccoli.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm with you on it. Yes.
Yeah, bring me all the butter. Bring me all the butter.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid if you're going to, I don't know how often you guys go out to eat, but don't be afraid to tell whomever you're going out to eat for. Like, if I go to a steakhouse and I'm ordering the perfect cut of, a ribeye, don't put the finishing sauce on there. Just leave it, put it on the grill and bring it to me. Don't put nothing. I mean, I even travel with my own sea salt.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't put anything on it. I don't want you to put nothing. I'll dress it myself. Bring me some butter. And they'll bring you those little I'm like, listen, y'all not got no real butter back there? Like some, I want real butter.
Yeah.
No, I want real butter. So,
we went to eat last week, Thursday night. Thursday night we went to eat with number 2 and number 3 granddaughters, and it was at Texas Roadhouse. And I told them basically I ordered like you just said. I said I want this, and don't put don't if you got whatever you're gonna put on there has anything other than just salt and pepper, don't do it. And they said okay.
Yeah.
I said and I also told them I don't want the potato. Can I have broccoli instead? And they said sure. And I said but I want you to load it like a potato. And
right, I want all the sides. Yeah, they look at you real confused at first, but I think a lot more of them are getting a little bit more used to people's dietary needs and having to change this or that or what have you.
And they brought it out in this cup. It was a nice sized cup, and it was full of broccoli, and it looked like loaded mashed potatoes the way it was.
Right.
But it was broccoli, and it was wonderful.
I mean, you got to open your mouth and tell people. There's more. I noticed out here. There's a lot more. The food is everywhere here. I mean, buffets and all this stuff like that.
Right.
So, but I mean, you go to these different restaurants and you tell them, You know, the other night we went out and I said, hey, look, I'm low carb. I don't no potatoes. You know, what kind of size? We have peas. I said, nah, I can't have peas. Oh, wait a minute. She says, we do have broccoli. I said, yeah, that's great, steamed broccoli. Okay. And I had a New York strip steak. And I tell you what, it was a good sized steak, medium rare, was done perfect, the whole bit. And I said, can I have a side of butter? She looked at me. She says, yeah, sure, whatever you want. I says, don't charge me for the pound, but give me give me a little bit of butter.
Significant amount of butter.
Yeah.
She come out and this and that, and actually the manager come walking past and he said, hey, how you doing? They must have said something in the back. And he said, you're low carb? I said, yeah. He says, me too. And just kept walking away.
There you go.
Well, maybe he's changed some things in the back part of things. Like you were talking about the restaurant that you had went to. I think they marinate their steaks in some kind of sauce, from what I understand. And I know they can't do anything about that. But I ask those kinds of questions. I'm just not embarrassed to ask any questions anymore. I see some people who, well, this is what they gave me, so this is what I ate. No, you paid for what you wanted, so order what you want.
That's right.
A lot of places will make a solution, and it's called Maggie Sauce is what it is, and soak them in water. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, we used to do that with ribeyes, okay? Right. And it gives it that little flavor, the whole bit. But the carbohydrates, I mean, once you, just a straight shot of it was high carbs. But once you dilute it and stuff like that, but it's still, carbohydrates.
Right.
It still has stuff in there that really is not good for us with doing keto and stuff.
How many of the servers that you've asked to questions about, did they even know their own menu well enough to tell you the answer?
There again. Yeah.
Have no
idea.
Rare.
It's rare. It's rare.
In order to be a good server, I think you should know that. You should know what's in your sauces. And there's just so many people, especially diabetics out here anymore. Yeah. I mean, I say that more often now than not, because it kind of shocks them into actually bringing you what you want. Like, I'm diabetic. Don't be feeding me something where we're going to have to code out and call the ambulance to come get me. Give me something, no sugar in it. But if you don't know the answer to my question, I'm more than willing for you to go ask the chef and come back and fill me in on what he says. But I had a restaurant not long ago bring me deep fried avocados because I said, don't bring the bread to the table. I don't want it. I don't even want to see it. Don't bring the bread to the table. This is, we're diabetic. We don't want any of it. Yeah. So she came back with a plate of 4 fried avocados, just deep fried in their little vat, which probably wasn't the healthiest, but it was better than that bread he was going to bring me. Yes, so, you never know what they're going to offer you in place of the thing,
And you got to be careful also with the doctor's office. Just how help is right now. I call the doctor's office about blood work. Okay. Yeah. So I said, I'm calling because I need to make an appointment to get my blood work done. Mm-hmm. And the girl, this is a true story. The girl actually said to me, what do you want to do with your blood? I turned to Maria. I said, I'm in trouble.
Please send me somebody who wants to work today and understands this lingo.
Yeah. I want to see if it's red. Blood, come on, crazy. I don't know.
I'm saving it. I'm going to start doing transfusions of my own blood.
That's right. I need some supplies to do this crap at home, lady. Okay, can you sell me all the needles and the bags to do it?
Yeah.
Michelle, how often? I mean, this is a sticky subject with a lot of people are doing it. How often do you check the scale?
I'm gonna say maybe once every 2 weeks.
Cool. Okay.
If I've said something here and I'm doing a series and I want to really show you what I'm eating and what I'm weighing daily or whatever, I'll do that. But the weight for me, I say hide the damn scale. Just hide it.
Yeah, me too.
It up. It just, because it triggers me as well as a big binge would. I've done everything right this week and I'm up 3 pounds. Well, why did I do all of that stuff if I'm just going to be up 3 pounds anyway? So I think what some people don't understand is the general fluctuation of your body systems, how much water your body is on a regular basis. You could be going today on what you weigh versus what you ate on Monday of last week. I mean, it's not just what you had yesterday or the day before yesterday. It's a whole culmination of a lot of things.
Now, see, I'm kind of the other way around. I know y'all. It does me more good to weigh every day, only because I can keep myself in check. I can say, okay, it's a reminder for me to not go off
Not
the deep
mess up
end.
the rest of the day.
Right.
Right.
It keeps me. I'm like, okay, I gotta cut that crap out. You know, I
Right.
gotta cut that.
Right.
I was obsessed with it in the beginning. I mean,
Right.
I'm every couple hours getting on a scale, looking and saying, wait a minute. But then
Yeah.
doing more research in on it, okay. And when I did, I lost 16 pounds like the first 2 weeks and went to the doctor. Okay, it was my time to go see the doctor. And he said, well, that's just water weight. And then it clicked. Wait a minute. Weight is weight, no matter how you add it up. Okay. Whether I mean, come on. So, and that sort of triggered that, well, he's not into this, or he don't know exactly what I'm doing. And I got to tighten my circle of who does know what I'm doing and do the research with it. So I put the scale back. I put it away, not dwelling on that. I was more dwelling on medications and feeling better.
Right.
Okay. Which gets into like the mental health issue of it. Okay. Because you can drive yourself insane with this. You can get yourself obsessed with, no, I can't have that. No, you can't have that. My solution to it was live your life.
Yeah.
Right. The rabbit holes can get very deep.
I mean,
especially with the mental health aspect of it.
Right. Yeah. I came to keto to lose weight, but I have come to realize that that's the wrong reason to do keto.
Exactly. It really is. That's the biggest statement ever right there.
Right.
It really
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the weight loss is just a byproduct of what you really go there for.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, my blood work has never been better. Mm-hmm. The last 5 years that I've been doing this, it has never been better.
Right. I have people tell me, oh, okay, the keto diet. And I said, no. It's a lifestyle because just like when we quit smoking, okay, you all of a sudden now you didn't go to places where they smoked, because it was all triggers. But you get your brain to the point where, hey, I can do this, and look at the results I got. Okay, mm-hmm. I came here for the health reasons. All right, I'm off 13. I have 13 medications. I'm only on 3 now.
That's great.
But it's not all roses. Okay, mm-hmm. The past couple of weeks, I had to go back onto a medication because of basically my age and the way my body produces sugars, glucose, and the insulin resistant to it. So I had to go back to this medication, which I wasn't happy with, but I have to do what I have to do.
But you've healed your body enough with food that now the food that you're eating and the lifestyle your body is regulated, and it's just still not enough, which I would love to have medicine on that basis versus them just handing you all of those medications without trying the food first. So
exactly. So that's my mental side of it. And I came to the conclusion that guess what? Everything else is good. So if I could take that, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So is there one food that you absolutely miss completely? You're like, wow, I miss that food more than anything else.
Oh man, chicken dumplings.
Oh, that is a true Southerner right there.
I mean, listen, mine were a 2 to 3 day process. You didn't make them today and have them tonight. That's just not the way you do it. So
that's right.
Yeah.
That is right. You slow cook that chicken and until it's just mouth watering, dropping off the bone.
Then you leave it sit all night because it's really, really hot and it's not going to cool off till morning. You pick the bones and make it, and then not only that, you don't dumpling it till the next day.
That's right. That's right.
Then serve for dinner.
And you got to cut your own dumplings.
I don't make traditional dumplings, Mike. You're going to think this is funny, but it's just the broth and the flour.
That's not bad. That's all right. Hey, that's it. You
don't have to worry about it not cooking thoroughly and serving somebody uncooked. Right. I had our matriarch of our family a couple of years ago, and I showed up to this family reunion keto, and I didn't even taste my own cooking. But that's what I took because my mother used to just ask anybody who would listen to bring that. She wasn't with us that year, and that was the last year the matriarch was with us, and she stood up and said, "Who made the dumpling?" You did good, sis.
There you
So
go.
Well,
I was
yeah.
like, I have lived my whole life to have one of them stand up and say, great recipe. So yeah, that's my, but all the other stuff, you seriously can make a keto version of it if you're missing it that bad to get over it, I think.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that's why I did my channel with that. I mean, I have had people tell me, well, I don't want you because you're keto. Change your name to keto. No, that's what I'm about. I'm about cooking
You can
stuff.
click or not click, but this is what we're doing over here on my channel.
My channel.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
My
And
channel.
I try to make it as simple and as easy
Yeah.
for somebody to do with not a lot of effort. People say, well, somebody really close to me, and I'm not going to mention any names, and it's not Marie, but I don't have time to do all that. Okay. And then I get the message, I just got done binge watching Netflix. Well, damn it, you had the time to cook.
While sitting there and eating a snack that was the standard American diet, but I just don't have time.
Yeah.
I wish I could trade places with one of those people who said they don't have time to see somebody who really don't have time, but makes it happen anyway. Because like I am on the road and on the go all day long. Just
Michelle, what's the future bring for you? What's the like the lifestyle, and then continuing this, or
this will always be. I may vary it somewhat if I ever get to a maintenance phase of it, but I believe this is just the way I'm supposed to eat. I don't think that any of the ailments that I have they're never going away. You can't really cure what I have. I have rheumatoid arthritis. Before this, I could work for 4 hours and cry for 8 because it would hurt so bad after housekeeping. That white flour to me is not worth the risk of being disabled and I'm just too on the go for that. But
I'm with you.
Maybe the trifecta, Tom, of the mental, diet, and the lifestyle all together. We are starting homesteading here to raise our own stuff to eat. We're that disgusted with the whole nine. And not only is our food unedible at the grocery store, our animals' feed is unedible at the grocery store. Just to give a, I'm kind of a prepper too. I don't know if y'all get into any of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
you have to be prepared.
Right.
But our chickens were eating Tractor Supply feed, and I got 0 eggs for 2 months, none milks. And I thought, what is the difference? Something has happened to because before that it was Tractor Supply, it was fine. Some other company bought out their product, but they're putting something in the feed to lessen egg production. And I don't know if y'all have heard that, and people think it's just craziness that we're talking out here. But I went to a co-op who grinds the corn and everything themselves. I started feeding, and bam, I have more eggs than I know what to do with. We have rabbits too. The rabbit feed was the same way. They just looked lethargic and I don't know how to explain it, but their skin coat wasn't as good as what it could be. And I think our food at the grocery store is the same way.
Exactly right. Exactly. Back in the day, back when we were in North Carolina, when I was battling, I had 17 acres, and we tried to do a little bit of everything. Marie grew everything from seeds. We had a greenhouse, the whole bit, planted everything. Right now, we're in an apartment in Las Vegas, but my balcony, I'll need a machete in another month to get out to my smoker. That's how much stuff she's grown. Okay.
I mean,
but I was at the point I was doing juice. I was juicing a lot. Okay. Trying to kill the cancer cells and stuff like that. Went down that rabbit hole. But all the residual stuff from the juicer, we'd put in a big bucket, and my neighbor down the street would supply me with eggs. And I would bring that stuff down to the chickens, and they actually fed the chickens all no chicken feed.
Mm-hmm. We hope to get that way, but we're just starting, so we haven't actually. But I want to be that way for sure.
Yeah, and I tell you what, you can't the store bought eggs right now. I mean, I don't exactly know where they're coming from, but can't beat them fresh eggs right there.
If we cannot find fresh eggs, if mine aren't laying enough, and I can't find somebody to purchase from, we just do without eggs. I don't even use store-bought eggs in my baked goods for the family that's on standard American diet. There's got to be some line, and that's mine. With farm fresh eggs or nothing.
Now, do you refrigerate your eggs?
I do, but I don't wash blooms. The only reason I refrigerate was because I sell to other people. So if it were just for me, they would probably just stay on the counter because we would go through them in enough time, or we would water can them.
Yeah.
So
because that's because really, if you got a fresh egg
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
you
good
don't
right on the counter.
re-up, and it's not going to hurt it a bit.
Up to 3 months, as
Yep.
long as you're not extreme temperatures. Yeah.
Right,
Well,
right. You start getting extreme temperatures, then you're going to have a problem. But
But you
otherwise,
start
you
dealing
don't.
with the public, they're like, you're selling me eggs that haven't been in the
Yeah.
refrigerator. They don't understand the
They don't
concept.
get it. As long
Yeah.
as you haven't washed them good, you know, you can clean them off. That's fine because they're not going to be the most nice looking, you know, most of the time.
My eggs aren't displayable. Okay, I don't wash anything off until I get ready to
All
eat
right, there you
anything.
go. There you go.
That should. I actually had a lady call me back after she got home with her farm fresh eggs, and obviously she had never had farm fresh eggs before. But anyway, you don't wash the bloom off and then set them on the counter all nice and pretty, because then you're going to get sick off of eating them. So,
Yep.
if you're buying those eggs from a farm and they're washed, you better eat them quick or you're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
And see that's where I'm at. Also, I buy bulk meat. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll buy full chuck rolls. I'll buy full New York strip, and for the price. Okay. Brisket.
Right.
I'll trim up a brisket and stuff. Brisket, to me, back in the day, brisket was the cheapest cut of meat you can get.
Man,
Also,
I really do love brisket.
Also, back in my restaurant days, ribeye was frowned upon because it was too fatty back then.
It was too fatty. Yeah.
Okay, so full circle. But my point is, I buy nothing with that I have to read a label with. Okay, there's no ingredients on it. I did one video where I held up a broccoli. And Marie says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm looking for the ingredients."
Yeah, I'm looking for the ingredient label.
You know,
Yeah.
so. But I applaud you for what you're doing, because we
Yeah.
did it, and I tell you what, I wish I never stopped doing it. Okay, we're growing our herbs, and if I go to the store and I open up a pepper, she's right there with the seeds. Okay, so we have a pepper plant that's going on 4 years old.
Oh yeah,
and keeps coming up. Man, might get 6 or 7, and they're mixed, little habaneros, and what she did was, when she planted the seeds, Tabasco, habaneros. So we got all kinds of crazy little hot peppers coming out. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching them kind of channels. I enjoy watching what people do, because it's very important, because we're losing it.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
Our trades are not passed down to our children, and our children aren't picking up the trades that we were in when it was back 100 years ago. I fully believe we need to start doing that again. There needs to be. Knowledge is power, and we're losing it. And not only that, the young people aren't interested in learning it.
Right here.
They're not interested in learning it.
There is an old movie. It's called Idiocracy.
Yeah. We're getting close.
Yeah. You know the one I'm talking about. Yeah. It's bad. It's amazing.
But I was at Dollar General about a week ago, and the guy punched in the wrong amount of tinder that I gave him, and could, for not the life of him, figure out how to fix it without pulling his phone out and doing it on his little phone. And I said, "Dude, you owe me $2." $2.
I had a lady. I had a young girl at the grocery store one day that could not make the change. I paid her in cash, and she cleared it, and it before she had. So she had no idea, and she said, "I can't do this," and I said, "Yes, you can." I said, "You can do it." I said, "We're going to do this. I'm going to show you how to do it."
But first, you got to click and subscribe.
Yeah. And she said, "Well, what do I do?" And I said, "It's real easy, and I'm going to show you." And I walked her through it, and she said, "That's it." And I said, "That's it." I said, "You don't have to do nothing else." I said, "Count up. How much did I give you? How much was the cost?" And then just count up from what it cost was to what I gave you. And they said, "Oh, that's all I got to do?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's simple."
I had one guy. One guy, I gave him $100 bill for the groceries, and he takes the 100 and he picks it up in the air. He's looking at it. I said, "It's good. I just made it." He looked at me.
We're going to get
yeah.
strips in there.
Oh yeah.
I tell my grandkids, I said, "I don't have a will." I said, "If I have anything, if I go first, Marie gets everything." Excuse me. I said, "But what I am going to leave you, okay, is 600 videos on YouTube."
That's right.
You can have pop anytime.
Free. Watch them at your leisure.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have anything to give to my kids but my bill, so I'm not going to leave a will so they won't know you're the generation that needs to pay it. Okay.
Yeah.
My number 2 granddaughter, all of my granddaughters will cook, except for the 7-year-old. She's really not old enough to really do it without supervision, but my son does get in the kitchen with her and do it.
That's good.
But the number 2 granddaughter really likes experimenting like I do, and she and I did it a lot growing up when she was growing up, and she's 22 this year, and but she has she'll carry a plastic fork, spoon, and knife with her in her purse. And I said,
girl.
And somebody asked her, said, why? And she said, you never know when food's going to happen.
That's right. You got to be ready, prepared.
Yeah.
I was in shock a couple of weeks ago because my grandson, hey, Pop, are you just coming over? I said, yeah. He said, can you make some ribs and some pulled pork the way you used to do it in North Carolina? Now, he's 20 years old now, but he remembers back in the day. I used to do whole hogs.
Yeah.
Okay. I had the whole thing like that. And they loved it because there was no plate. Okay. Just go up to the grill with a fork and just pull it away. And I would make that, like a North Carolina, style barbecue sauce with it. And they liked it. But I was intrigued that they were involved. They want to get involved. So I went over and we cooked right there. He made made up the marinade and stuff like that. So it's there. You know what I mean? And you just got to constantly push, to teach them, because it's lost. I mean, I asked him one night, what do you want for dinner? And he told me Uber. What the hell's an Uber?
How you make that?
Yeah.
Do I fry that? Is that fried?
Not here in my house. We don't do that. No.
Now, number 2 granddaughter, she sent me a video. She said, Papa, I wanted you to see what I made my boyfriend. He wanted a grilled cheese sandwich. And I said, okay. And she showed it, and she said she put mayo on each side of the bread and then put it down on the pan and let the mayo toast the bread, and it gave it more flavor. And she would season it, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder on the bread and all. And she didn't use American cheese. She used real cheese. And she said, he came back and said, that's the best sandwich I ever had. And then I said, see, it doesn't, just a little bit more effort and you got excellence.
That's right.
I mean, you get fresh eggs like you're going to have. I make my own mayonnaise.
I want to try. I have not tried it yet, but when I have a plethora, I want to for sure.
It's easy as hell. I mean, seconds, a matter of seconds to get it get up there. And the way we go through it, I mean, you can keep it for up to 2 weeks, with it because of the vinegar and stuff in there. But I tell you what, I mean, that's the kind of stuff. That's what got me going really hardcore with it in the beginning with keto, and then weight loss, and just started feeling good. I'm saying, whoa, this stuff is pretty good, So
I am such a Dukes fan. It's so hard.
We're craft over here, so I don't know that we can make something that replicates, but it will be better for me for sure. Anyway.
Yeah. I know. I've never made my own mayo, and I got to try it because I've been told if you ever do it, you'll never want the other kind ever.
It's kind of like the fresh egg, white egg thing from the grocery store eggs to the fresh egg.
See, and I'm allergic to raw egg. Okay, but throughout the years, I come to find out. I mean, my mouth is swell. I look like but I mean, I blow up. I just swell up. I get hives, the whole bit. But making the homemade mayo, I come to find out that the egg white is what I'm actually allergic to.
Albumin. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So a little bit more vinegar in it actually counteracts and kills whatever bothers me. You know what I mean? So that's what I've been using, for years. If I use regular store-bought mayonnaise, I'll every once in a while I'll break out if I have too much or whatever. Yeah.
I have a friend who makes their own because of the same reason, and they only use egg yolks.
Yeah. But you know what though, Mike? I for a little bit of itch and stuff like that, I'll deal with it.
Yeah. I'm with you. But Oh, speaking of allergies and all, after I had 2 food allergies that I developed as an adult. Didn't have them as a kid. I developed them as an adult, and that was to a processed strawberry.
Mhm.
When they put all those preservatives in it and that kind of stuff, was just a plain strawberry didn't bother me, or fresh frozen if it didn't, But the second you do anything to it, other than maybe you were adding something natural to it, those all the preservatives and whatnot that they put in it and all, I would break out in hives. And the
Wow.
other one was sweet potatoes, and I would break out in hives, and it would make my throat close.
Oh, you could be careful with that, Mike.
Yeah, I ended up in the hospital with that one. That's how I
Yeah.
found out I was allergic. And so
Wow.
it was so bad about the sweet potatoes that when I would go to like Boston Market and they would have sweet potatoes by something else right next to it,
You get the contact.
I go to the other end. I say, I am not
Wow.
buying from this end
No,
because I am
no,
not
you
going
can
to the
get around
hospital.
that. Right, right.
And so, but after I had my gallbladder taken out, people told me, said, have you tried anything that you were allergic to before? And I said, no. And they said, give it a try. Give it a try. Things I was allergic to, I'm not allergic to anymore. I said, okay, I'll try it. So first I did it with the strawberries because that's just the hives. I can live with the hives.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nothing. And I said,
Isn't that
holy,
interesting?
I said, dang.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
I said, okay, I'll try the sweet potatoes. And I took one little bite, nothing happened. Took another bite, nothing happened. I'm like, well, I'll be dang,
well, my son at 10 years old started becoming allergic to fish, and we fish a lot here, so we ate a lot of fish. I mean, just all of a sudden came up allergic to fish. So he had a lot more issues, and he had to have one of those skin patch testing done when he was 28. And the doctor said, "You're not allergic to fish. You're not allergic to any of the fish. No shellfish, none of that is on your thing." So he started eating it again. It was fine, but just for that
Wow.
limited time, his body wouldn't process fish. So
Man.
Yeah. Just like type 2 diabetes. I mean, that's an autoimmune disorder.
Right.
Okay. Well, autoimmune. Yeah. I mean, and the whole fact of the matter is it had the similarities of type 1.
Right.
That's basically what it was. But I mean, once I started this, my sugar went from like 250 down to 140 in like 2 weeks, just from cutting out the sugar and the carbs and stuff like that.
Right.
Where do you
guys stand on the electrolytes? Do you supplement with electrolytes, or do you just eat your diet and you're getting enough from your food that you're eating?
I supplement.
You do.
But I try to eat it as well. I take magnesium and potassium, magnesium glycinate and potassium.
I take magnesium, and I do apple cider vinegar, water, not maybe once or twice a week. But I put a little bit of baking soda in it because the frequency that I use it as can actually hurt your teeth.
Yeah.
With it. So when I put a little, it counteracts it. And I got to tell you, since I started doing it, I haven't had heartburn in ever.
Oh, right. Now, I feel like if you mind your electrolytes, the rest of it will go a lot smoother than that. Just figure out where your electrolyte level should be and where you're at it.
And also from the bladder cancer, I increased my salt intake.
Yeah.
Big time. Big time. My salt, everything to taste a little bit more. And that's another false
educated on. Yeah.
Before keto, I did not salt anything. I didn't use salt, not one bit. And then I heard about the Himalayan pink salt, and I realized it wasn't, because I didn't like the taste of it. Right. And I realized it was that Morton's table salt, the regular table salt with the iodized salt. That's what I didn't like. The Himalayan
salt.
Right. The Himalayan pink salt, I like.
Mm-hmm.
The sea salt, I like. Kosher salt, I like.
What made me laugh, what was going on Facebook for a while, was Himalayan sea salt or Himalayan salt come up. Okay. And this is for ancient, hundreds and millions of years. They've been using Himalayan salt. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the bottom showed an expiration date.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
It's salt. It's salt. It ain't gonna go bad.
Yeah, like with dummies. Like with dummies, you know what I mean?
The only thing it might do is clump up, and you got to figure out how you're gonna break it up, especially here in the South.
Yeah.
What do you plan on growing in your gardens?
We have big plans, but cucumbers and all kinds of squashes. I'm sure he's going to do okra this year as well. We have a pretty good spot this year that we haven't had before. So I'm going to leave that. Tomatoes, all kinds of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, Roma tomatoes, those beefsteak tomatoes.
Oh.
We usually do all 3 of those.
Oh yeah.
So
we got in pots. I'm in an apartment now, so Mammy Yoakum has spaghetti squash seeds that are starting to pop through. Some tomatoes, all different tomatoes and pepper plants and stuff like that. All the stuff that we use, okay? But we're going to do it in the fashion where we're actually doing for Seniors Food and Life. We're going to start vlogging it, putting it on what we're growing, how she's growing it and stuff like that. And I tell you what, it's good stuff, man. And just grow your own. You know where it comes from. You know what you put in the ground.
Grow your own. We have rabbits now too, so we're using that.
Do you eat rabbit?
We eat rabbit, and we use the fertilizer as well for fertilizer.
I love rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Oh, rabbit is so good. It is so good.
And it, we're gonna try to start vlogging it, but let me tell you what kind of hate you get when you start telling people you're growing your own animals to eat. They just
oh yeah.
They have a big time, but
I get a lot of I get a lot of negative from the vegans. Okay.
I mean, if these chickens quit laying eggs, guess what? They're still gonna feed us. I mean, I'm sorry that your feelings are hurt. But that's the way we do things over here. I come from a long line of animal farmers. My granddad was a pig farmer, so
Do you have any plans to raise like any pigs or anything like that? Also?
Well, maybe eventually, but not where we are right now. We're renovating the place we are right now because it's too big for just the 2 of us, and hopefully get on a bigger piece of land, a smaller property or a smaller house, and
gotcha. Yeah.
Have more people. But
I applaud you for that because you know what? In North Carolina, I bought 17 acres with a shotgun shack on it. That was it was in bad shape, and I slowly worked on it, and got it to the point where we enjoyed it. I mean, we were there 12 years, and I enjoyed the hell out of that.
We have tiny house homesteading goals. That's what we have.
Cool.
Dreams.
Very good.
Well, I envy folks that I'm too urban here. I live in the suburbs, but I can't. I can grow a few things, and I'm going to do it this year. I just hadn't gotten out there and planted them yet. But I would love to have chickens.
We haven't done ours because of this kind of weather right here. Every time we have an opportunity, it rains on us. So we're trying.
My thing is, it's not the weather. I got things going with Paige, going to the doctor, going this and that and whatnot.
Yeah.
Because with her Alzheimer's, it just it takes
more.
Oh yeah, and then when we're here, we're trying to spend time together, or instead of having our only time together be like going to the doctor, So
yeah,
right. So, well, it's also important as well. You already know this, but for her routines at this particular point in time need to be something that she's good with. She's it keeps her level even and happy. So doing extra things that y'all are not used to doing. Goodness gracious!
I seen that. Oh, Lord.
What was that?
Lightning.
Oh,
I seen it. Whoa.
I still haven't heard the noise yet. So was that too close or too far? There you go.
Have you heard it yet?
That was about 7. So it's not as
it's not that
close as it looked. It looked like right next door.
Yeah.
So Michelle, and for somebody that's starting out on keto and stuff, what would be your message? What would be your advice to give to somebody?
Don't complicate it.
Mm-hmm.
It is so simple that it's easy to complicate, and you trip yourself up when you complicate it. So just go as simple as you need to go at the beginning. Make better, best options,
And I always say go slow. Take your time with it. But know that 2 things. Okay, sugar is the killer.
Mm-hmm. It's the enemy, the all time.
Oh boy, is it ever!
and too many carbs. You don't need to get I always say you don't need to get an app to tell you. All you have to do is Google it. Butternut squash, how many carbs? Okay, bang. It tells you right there. It tells you right then and there, and you adapt your day.
Got it. Yeah.
It also helps to keep some kind of food diary for me. If y'all both probably have been doing it so long too that you know what feeds you better than another item would feed you better. So you go with the things that satiate you for long term.
Right.
And you may have to write a couple of those down until you figure out for yourself what that is, because my plan, Tom's plan, Mike's plan is totally 3 different plans, but it's still working.
Amen. Yep.
So you just have to
I
search for yourself.
Totally agree.
Have your own brain. Don't follow some, like, I don't want to be a keto guru. Do your own thing. I just want to give you an example of what you could do to help yourself.
Me and Mike go back and forth about it, about there is no law. I mean, there's no keto police.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got to, it's a lot. You need to do research on it. You got to follow the right people. Don't listen
to the Facebook pirates, the Facebook, don't listen to those people, because the food is not ketogenic. Your body processing is what's ketogenic.
Right.
Bingo.
It's not the food.
Yeah. Yep. And anything that says keto friendly on it, take it with a grain of salt.
It's guaranteed not to be. It's almost guaranteed not to be.
Just about every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty cool.
Yep. So what's your plans for your channel? Where you want to see it go and do?
I'm a little of everything. A little of everything. I really do. That's why I left adventures in there, because that kind of does cover point A to point B. But we're at the end of our working life here at my channel. We're just having grandbabies, and we're starting a new venture. So we just kind of want to share it all with everybody. If it helps, it helps, and if it doesn't, like I said, it's my hobby.
Right.
Yeah.
It's also something for our grandbabies or kids to look back on later on in life.
Right. That's why mine has journey in it, because as part of that journey is my appreciation of nature and being out walking with my dogs, or we've got a peacock here in the neighborhood, and seeing that peacock and putting that out there. There's seeing wild animals and taking videos of them and putting it out. That's all part of it. It's enjoying life. Mm-hmm. That's why and the keto part is just part of it. And so I understand totally what you mean with that word adventures, because that's why I got journey in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing that will happen here is the Fly Lady, because I've just started the Fly Lady systems is finally loving yourself. And with people like me with mental backgrounds, it's hard to do some of the things that are normal everyday tasks for everybody else, like forced tasks, the dishes. I think more about not doing the dishes than I ever do doing the dishes. But it's not as simple as that. So these 32 baby steps help you on a daily basis do the things that need to be done and can do the looking at the nature and not worrying about the things, at the house that need to be done. So that's one of the things. And the neurodivergence is coming out a little bit everywhere. And I know that's kind of a catchphrase word anymore, but there's a whole line of where you fit if you think you or someone you love is neurodivergent. And we kind of need to, as a whole society, look at people who have those abilities instead of disabilities. I'm going to call it abilities, because you just don't think about it sometimes as a whole people, other people besides yourself. Normal.
Right.
What's normal?
Yeah.
So go ahead, plug your channel and as to what the name of it is and all.
It's Life Adventures and Keto. You can find me here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, but listen, TikTok makes me feel old. I don't know about y'all, but like, hey, here's my plate. I can't keep up with these trends and figure out how to sing along with you. But I am on TikTok. But on each of my videos, there's a link tree down below that shows you all the places you can find me. Just like y'all, I'm showing the ketogenic lifestyle free of charge. Ask me any questions you might.
I just
if I have a resource, I will certainly share it with you.
Yeah, that's my thoughts on it too. I agree with you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, like I said, I had a couple like naysayers. You know, why you would do much better on YouTube if you dropped the keto. No, that's what I do. You know,
Well,
that's
well,
that's
that's
what
the
it's
message
about.
I want to share. So
Yeah, and you know, whether you do some carnivore, you know, I mean, some weeks I switch it up. I'll just have meat, whatever. I just don't feel like. Sometimes I just don't feel like cooking. But Marie, I tell you what, Marie, I got to get her a GPS because she lost her way to the kitchen. So we got to get her straightened out and have on track where the kitchen is. She can cook, and that's what I'm going to be doing with my channel. I'm going to be bringing her in a little bit more to do more cooking to show it's just not me; it's the family.
Yeah.
You know,
I want to bring Paige in and let her cook something. She can cook. Her problem is not remembering if she's added this or added that or what.
Yeah.
So, but well, we've been going for an hour and 20 minutes, and we usually try to keep it to about an hour. So, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, very informative.
Yeah, and I am so grateful to you joining us here.
Yeah, I mean, everybody.
Can't hear you guys. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
Everybody hit that like and subscribe. Go follow Michelle. Check out her channel and look for the future of stuff that's coming up. I tell you what, great personality. And it's very fun to watch because she's on the same page as mostly everybody that's on the keto lifestyle. So yeah, it's great person,
and a good friend.
And that's right. Proud to call you friend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, I'm gonna hit the end recording here, and we'll see what's what.